Since 2015, the next game by studio Arrowhead has been long awaited, and after a long wait finally, Helldivers 2 has been released, both on PS5 and PC. A game about going to a planet where they're full of bugs or robots and showing them what liberty and freedom feels like, whether it's through big ass weapons, big ass orbital support drops, or the best way to solve it, a nuke. Let's talk about Helldivers 2. The story of Helldivers 2 is a light one. For starters though, I do want to give a heads up, I never played Helldivers 1 when it first released. I played a little just a few weeks ago to see what it was all about, and it was good, but definitely didn't put a fair shake into it. But from the gist of it though, I can still explain what story is going on, especially for Helldivers 2. Helldivers 2 follows the Super Earth defending itself from alien invaders at all times to keep peace and prosperity for the people of Super Earth. With this peace, it requires you and many other soldiers known as Helldivers to take the fight to other planets in the solar system around Super Earth. The enemies are a variety of two factions, the bugs and the cyborgs. These two common enemies are to be cleared out and taken care of by you and the rest of the Helldivers. And that's the summary of it all, but that's all it needs to be for this game. There isn't much more to it, but that story that comes from it is the experiences you make from the game itself, which I'll get to when in the gameplay part, but from what Arrowhead has done here with the game, the story always feels ongoing, like a galactic war, especially through marketing that gives updates like a broadcast, and then the galaxy map itself being filled with liberation of the varied planets you get to explore in Helldivers 2. It's still good fun for a story, as it just reminds me a ton of what I've heard a lot of people say is the fantastic movie by Paul Verhoeven, Starship Troopers, which if you haven't already, watch it ASAP. It is peak sci-fi, especially if you want just a bit more Helldivers goodness.
The enemy cannot push a button if you disable his hand. Medic! Sweet liberty!
The gameplay is the mainstay for the game, and it is the perfect blend of what Helldivers 2 does best. Instead of a from above camera style this time around, Helldivers 2 is third person with the option to also go first person when aiming. It's a little thing you can do which makes the game just more terrifying than it should be, even though it already is in third person. The variety of missions focuses on just really clearing out these planets, which to some can be either good or bad for you. For me, it just depends on the game itself. I just recently talked about Suicide Squad and its repetitive gameplay loop, especially in missions, but unlike Suicide Squad, Helldivers 2 makes me want to keep playing, as it has not only great gameplay and gun feel, it just has a fun as hell gameplay loop to it. Go to these planets, land where you want, but if you land in a spot with enemies, you're pretty much already dead. You've got 40 minutes to do your main mission in the game, with the inclusion of side missions in the missions, clearing out bug spots, blowing up research stations, or just running around the map looking for resources. So long as you get your main mission done and extract safely, Super Earth is very proud of you after. After this, you of course get to enjoy your glory, whether by yourself or with 3 other players, whether randoms or friends, and there's also a decent amount of unlocks that you can get through the game, whether it's new weapons, new costumes, or new additions to your ship. But there's just so much to this game when it comes to the progress that it all just feels great to earn throughout the game. By the way, speaking of the ship, I forgot to mention you can actually name your ship. Not anything you want, but there's a huge variety of names in the list that they give you.
Look here! Look, listen!
As I said earlier, just like Helldivers 1, 2 is co-op as well, with this being my favorite way to play the game. Randoms are just fun as hell to play with, just as much as friends, and with the consequences of your characters being very sensitive to dying, you can easily kill teammates on accident as well, like I've done before many times. Like one time I shot a mine on the floor, making my teammate die right before extraction, or my favorite accidental kill when I blew up a research lab and didn't know our teammate was still there, as it got nuked to kingdom fucking come. Whoops. The other thing to mention is the difficulty itself. Throughout each mission you complete on the difficulty you set, you can go up to the next difficulty once you finish a level on the previous difficulty. It makes the game harder of course, but even so, it just makes it more stressful in a fun way, just like with the finals in 2023. Sure, if I fail a mission that sucks, but I still had so much fun after. There's plenty of times where I did a mission though and came back more leveled up for a mission like it, but this time was able to take on the Titan bug of the mission, feeling glorious purpose as I blew up that motherfucker. I I got onto this game the moment it was released on PC, like a good few people did, and was met with a bit of a sour taste as it did crash on me a couple times and lagged a bit heavily on the first 2-ish hours I played. Soon after though, I took a break and waited until the next day and was met with a far better experience. My guess is Arrowhead wasn't too sure there'd be so many people playing, but they should have, since it not only was a PS5 exclusive, but it was also a day one PS5 exclusive on PC. It's not a huge complaint for me anymore though, since the game just seems to run swimmingly. There are moments where of course they do need to shut down the servers for a little bit, as just this weekend alone apparently over 500,000 people were playing Helldivers 2, and they went well above their max capacity for the game. Like, holy shit, are people really digging this game. The other things I want to talk about, of course, is the graphics, and from what I heard on PS5, the game runs at 1080 60 FPS, but on PC you get all the bells and whistles, of course. And my god, man, this game is beautiful. There were plenty of times I was sprinting around the map enjoying the beautiful open world, and then turning so slightly, a horde of bogs were right behind me trying to kill me. I haven't heard many complaints for this game for PC or PS5 since launch, but that's just really great to hear. Unlike other games I've played, this is a really good release that I give great props to Arrowhead for pulling off. Sure, it's had a few times where it's had to shut down and fix its max capacity loads and all that, but I mean, shit, man, I can wait a few hours just to play even more of this game, which I'm really digging every day that I play. Now, this is going to sound either controversial or brain dead, but I'm generally surprised by how alright and fair the live service in this game is.
What the hell?
Now, don't get me wrong, micros and live service stuff sucks big bags of dicks. I don't care for it, I just want to enjoy a game, that's all. But unlike games like Call of Duty, Fortnite, and many more live service games, Helldivers 2 does it pretty fair. For starters, the battle pass is free for everyone. You gotta earn it all, and you get some decent stuff from it as well. And secondly, you can buy costumes in the game for your Helldiver, but the catch is you see how much it costs. I'm sure you think, oh great, I reckon they want $10 or $15 for this one costume. No, they want at best less than $5. And look, $5 still ain't chump change still, but it beats paying $30 for one skin in a live service game that's already dead. This is something that needs to be rubbed in people's faces when they do this shit nowadays. Especially the other thing as well, when you're exploring these planets throughout Helldivers 2, you can actually find credits to buy these costumes in their costume shop. Yeah. You don't fucking see that in Call of Duty or Fortnite, do ya? Yes, it takes a lot of work to make costumes for characters, but when I'm already paying for the game, whether full price for a COD or once in a while a battle pass for Fortnite, I shouldn't have to pull my card out for a $30 skin that I'll either never notice or barely use. Helldivers 2, sure, I buy the costume, I might swap it out, but at least I won't sit there after a few months thinking, I can't believe I spent over $20 on this skin. I think what Helldivers and Arrowhead are doing is the best way to do it, and I'm sure it won't change much, sadly, when it comes to other live service games, but it's generally just nice to see, and it's got me wondering if PlayStation may take notes from Arrowhead on how to sell cosmetics and etc. in their own live service games. Guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Join the Helldivers, the galaxy's last line of offense.
Helldivers 2 is a bigger surprise than I expected. I was surprised for the game, of course. It looked fun, seemed right up my alley, but went way above what I had hoped for with this game. Is it a game I'll stick with in the long run? Honestly, I reckon so, especially with post-launch content that will more than likely include more enemy varieties since one had 3 factions in it, and there's also talks of vehicles as well for the game, including mechs, which is going to be pretty fucking sweet when they come. Overall though, Arrowhead has killed it with this game, and I look forward for what they get up to for ways to defend our Super Earth from the menace that is not from our beautiful Super Earth in the very soon future. Thank you all so much for watching. Another review so soon, I know, but it's been on my mind, and I mean, come on. If you've played it, you know it's a good ass game that deserves to love. I'm excited for what's next for the game, and if you're playing as well, what did you think of it? Let me know down below, and also before I go, I just want to say thank you for the response these past few weeks on uploads, especially getting into things like YouTube Shorts included lately. But I also want to thank each and every one of you who has subscribed to the channel, whether from the beginning or just as recently. We've hit over 400 subscribers, and it means a lot to break that number. Hopefully 500 really soon, but like I said, thank you all for being here so far, and as always, be sure to like and even sub for new videos very soon, and thanks for watching everyone, it's appreciated.